so.
All right, we're gonna call this meeting to order. This is the Fairhaven Shade Tree Commission meeting of November 5th, 2025. In accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Act, public meetings may be held in person or by means of communication equipment to include streaming services and other online meeting platforms. This meeting is being held in person and through the Zoom meeting platform, being broadcast from Borough Hall, 748 River Road, Fairhaven, New Jersey. Public participation for this meeting on November 5th, 2025 is available by calling phone number or through Zoom. Members of the public will be on mute until it is time for questions or comments, which will be announced. At that time, the public has the opportunity to question or comment by phone or through Zoom by the raise hand button and will be called on at the appropriate time. Notice of this meeting was sent to the Asbury Park Press, the Two River Times, and the Star Ledger on January 31st, 2025, posted on the Borough website, the bulletin board in the municipal building, and has remained continuously posted as required under the statute. With adequate notice having been given, the Shade Tree Commission Secretary is directed to include this statement in the minutes of this meeting. All right, roll call, Christine.
Leah Begani, absent. Neil Blecker, absent. Peter DeGotti, absent. These are just in alphabetical order. Mike D'Angelo,
Here.
Chris Larson,
Here.
Chris McCabe, Rebecca Pleat,
Here.
Jill Sullivan, here. Bonnie Torcivia, here. Councilman La Barbera is not here. Also present, Borough Secretary Christy Larson, you have a quorum.
Good. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Anybody have any questions about the prior meeting minutes?
No.
Motion to approve.
Motion. Second.
Minutes approved. All right. And get right into the project updates and our agenda here. This is the time of year we got to address next year meeting dates. Obviously we're first Wednesday of every month, and we'll probably keep that the same, I would assume. And then really the big topic is which month do we take off? And we've been taking July off. It was brought to my attention that all the other commissions have been taking August off, so if that makes any sense or whatever. Since everybody's, I don't know, we should all be on the same page.
I think one of the reasons we were saying July was because it always falls around the 4th of July. But I'm fine with taking off August, I don't know there.
Okay.
It's fine.
I mean, I'm usually away in July, so it's better for me to go, to take off July, but I'm open to.
It's better to take off.
It's better to take off July
For
for
you.
for me, but it's not all about me.
Anyone, anyone out there in Zoom land feel strongly one way or the other? August, July?
I'm flexible.
I'm pretty distracted in July because we do, sometimes we travel, sometimes we have stuff going.
First Wednesday of July is July 1st.
Yeah, whatever the majority wants.
So if it's July 1st, it's almost like, well, it's like a student. But it's
Yeah, I guess I honestly, I feel like regardless, I think summer is always gonna be hit or miss, right? July or August.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's all the same, we can just line up with the right group, all the other commissions, not to
No, that's fine.
sway
It's
you.
July
but
1st.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, so
Good luck.
we'll take off August.
do August, yeah, I mean,
Back to everybody.
we have to vote on that, Christie, is there a?
No, I'll send it to Betty and you just have to come to a consensus. If you want to stick with your first Wednesday of the month at 7:30 in person or hybrid. And your recess date, if you would like one. I'm just gonna forward it to Betty and so I'm hearing consensus.
Does that day still work for everybody?
Okay.
Yes, right. You wanna,
Except for January, what are you gonna do about January?
what happened in January? Is that January, was that? What, the first Wednesday? Is that January 1st or something? Is it?
January, no, it would be January 7th.
7th. There's no conflicts, the council meetings. on
Yeah, it's the
5th.
7th,
The first is the,
was the, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, so we'll do first Wednesday of every month and August off.
the only other thing I'll say is, when is Easter, because that would be when everybody takes off spring break, not me, I don't have any kids.
I looked at that and there was not a conflict, the only, it would be April 1st and spring break is the following week.
So that works.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Good, good. Good, all right. Moving on, resident tree buying program. Should we do a-
Nothing much to add, other than they're planting this
Mhm.
week, they were gonna plant today, and they broke down.
But they did,
But
because
they
they were
were-
my neighbors, yeah.
Right, but I don't think they got to everybody's at the rest sheet, so they're gonna go the rest of them on Friday,
Okay.
that's it.
Yeah, I met with DJ this morning and we marked out the tree line for the community center.
Yeah, how far apart did you put them?
How far apart should they be?
I'm just like, are they spaced, like, no,
25 feet.
25 feet, that,
Yeah.
okay.
Good.
Yeah, gives me room to breath.
Yeah,
Alright.
so they should go in on Friday,
Yep,
yeah, cause they were on the list, but.
okay, that's good, cause we're supposed to get some rain over the weekend, so that'll be nice.
Perfect.
And, okay, so good, how many total again, that's great.
29, yeah.
Cool. Alright, good, good. It's up here. Alright, good stuff. We'll move on to the New Jersey Shade Tree Federation Conference update. We had a panel. We have a panelist right here,
Yeah,
Jill Sullivan,
he was,
and you were there as well.
I was there,
Right?
watching. Yeah, it's great. Phil did a fabulous job. Yeah.
So the panel that I was on was, community planting programs. And it was myself, Manasquan, Del Mar, and Point Beach. And we just explained like how our relationship with Fernbrook worked and kind of how our town managed the program. And there was slight differences between our towns, but generally the same. And then we took questions and there was a lot of.
So much interest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which was good because we were like the new people on the block, only doing this for a couple of years. And everyone else had been doing it for a long time, so it was kind of good to get, a couple different experiences. But yeah,
I think Kevin was super appreciative of you being there too, because, you know, he was up on the panel too.
Yeah.
So as the.
I mean, between our 4 towns, I guess Belmar wasn't there, but between our four towns, we are the bulk of his resident tree buying business, like,
Okay.
nobody else does it consistently. And so, yeah, I mean, I was surprised to learn that, but, but I think it was like an hour.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good, yeah.
And that was in the afternoon, and in the morning, we had a couple of different speakers. They have really interesting speakers. They had a guy from the Netherlands who was talking about his, 330, 300.
Yeah.
Which is, he's been doing a study just to see kind of the benefits of having trees, and he said everyone should be able to see 3 large trees from their home or workplace. And the canopy in the town should be 30%, it's better
At a
if it's
minimum,
at a
yeah.
minimum. And you should be within 300 yards of a green space. This is what they found, and they've really been talking it up all over Europe. He's from the Netherlands, so. And finding that it really does reduce medication needs and all sorts of other things, so it's, he said it's something that master plan should be considering, like just trying to improve. You know, obviously in our little town, we're in pretty good shape. Most people are pretty close to something, but,
Did you
It's-
tell him how awesome our canopy was at that moment? Like
yes.
30% is child's play.
I
yeah.
did specifically ask a question.
Yeah.
As I said, well, how do you have this conversation with people where you already meet the minimum?
Mhm.
In order to kind of, you know, talk about the importance of maintaining or improving that when you're well above this. And basically his answer is saying this is like the bare minimum.
Okay.
And, you know, you should always be improving on that.
Sure.
That's the minimum you should do. You know, of course, he's talking about a lot of this from the perspective of like a city, which is, you know, more, you know, more strategic, I guess, in planning. But I thought just to add on to what Bonnie was saying, about how this, you know, this number is like something that's easy to remember, but it's being implemented and being demanded by the public to put into planning. Like as, you know, people are taking down buildings and like they're demanding that these benchmarks are met. And so, I found that to be like fascinating, that this is like something that the public has like grabbed onto and, is mandating that that be part of, you know, the public planning process, so.
I mean, I made a big point of think hard before you take down a big mature tree.
Yes.
You cannot put it back.
Sure.
It will never be back in your lifetime. And he said it really is, you know, right, think hard about that,
Mhm.
which,
Yeah, I thought he was the best speaker there.
yeah, he was good. Then we had a gal from Oregon who was talking all about cultivars, which is not my favorite thing. I kind of, you know, I'm a purist. I like the straight species. But it was amazing what they go through, all the little saplings, like 5,000 to find the one that is the best cultivar, that is, you know, the sturdiest and the resilient. And Oregon is where they grow so many trees because it's such a little microclimate and they grow so fast there. I mean, it didn't make sense to me, the shipping of the trees from Oregon, but it's just that they grow so much faster. So they can do, and of course, it's cheaper to grow a gazillion little trees to find the right cultivar.
Right, and so they grow them there and then they ship them to like finishing
Finishing.
nurseries, basically.
Yeah.
Which I had no clue that happened either. So, Fernbrook, though, for the most part, is growing everything in New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes, but
Yeah.
she was interesting too, I agree.
Yeah.
But,
And there's an International Oak Society. She had just come back from, and I was like, what?
President? Yeah.
yeah,
Where was the meeting?
They just had it down in Mexico somewhere.
Oh.
And then they're having one in Portugal next year. I'm like. Well, it doesn't matter, you gotta go.
You think we get in the budget, a little trip to Portugal?
Yeah, they
The Shade Tree Commission should probably be presented there.
Yes.
anyway, I know Bonnie says every year that we should go to this, and now I'll just jump on her bandwagon and say that I thought it was worth a day off to like kind of just,
Take it, yeah.
yeah, you know, it was interesting, yeah,
Yes.
so.
But it's just such a great group of people, and you have lots of nice side conversations with people. Bill Brown was there and was saying him, we were talking to somebody else, but yeah, see, this is on my car now.
Yeah, so that was from the lady in.
So, yeah.
The cultivator.
Yes, so I have one already, if somebody wants this, I just need that she wrote something on the back for me. So if anybody wants to choose something as their bumper sticker, you can take this one, nice. But I picked up this little thing. Thinking this could be a cute giveaway, like if we did something like this is, these are seeds.
Oh.
And it just made me think of Arbor Day or Where We Live Day.
Yeah.
So.
I've seen that seeds pressed into.
Yeah, so I think
You
they
just
said
put the whole
this
thing
was,
around.
exactly.
This is from Arbor Day Foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's the,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So easily find it where they did. Anyway, I thought that was, maybe we could just get some from them
Mhm.
instead of doing ourselves. I thought that was cute. And then I don't know if you want to talk about the education, all these like.
Yeah, they have all
pamphlets.
these pamphlets that are from the Arbor Day. I mean, there's one big one on stormwater, which. You know, we just upped our stormwater regulations a little bit, and there was a question about how do you measure, like, how do you measure how much water is kept in a tree? And this tree, I was talking to Christy about it, I haven't ever been on that, but I think you can find out all sorts of, if you put in information about your species and the size and, you know, diameter, figure that out. And the question is, like I brought this up to council meeting, if I live next to you and you're below me and I cut down my giant tree that's holding all the stormwater and your yard floods, like, is that okay? Like, it's my property, but I'm impacting you greatly by, and this is what happened to one of the council members, that her backyard's constantly flooded now in her basement. I mean, it's like kind of, like, does Sherry weigh in on that? Did she ever evaluate, like, the stormwater impact of a tree removal? Because I know she'll say it's, you know, it, like, there was just a big one in Oxford that took down a monster willow oak. And her report was that you couldn't safely build next to this tree because you cut through its root system and it would become dangerous, even though the tree was perfectly healthy.
Okay.
But like, should that be a consideration, because everybody's getting more and more concerned about stormwater. So I'm just kind of curious if that's something we should, because obviously it's important to them.
Yeah,
It seems like, I never hear that come up in conversation when
No.
she's evaluating.
No,
Christy, do you happen to know if that's, I mean, I know it's usually like, you know, it's dead or dying, or it's in the way, or like you said, it's in the way of the construction or something, does she, do you know?
It's not part of the application or part of the ordinance, as far as like, there's no denial mechanism for that reason, if that's what you're asking.
that might be something we want to think about as we rethink about the ordinance.
Yeah,
Like this.
absolutely, so that seems like one of the more valuable, criteria.
yeah,
to-
yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, cause you hear it all the time that somebody else's yard is flooding because of what somebody else did. Yeah.
But it might even appeal to the owner. You know, if you're cutting down a big tree that's absorbing a lot of stormwater, you might.
Well, you don't think
Right.
about it, a lot of people
Right.
would not think about that,
Right.
Yeah,
They
that's
don't know.
interesting though. I
Yeah.
haven't thought about it now.
If it's
But
part of a construction project, there's zoning code that says you have to do dry wells or, you know, other mechanisms.
So how they
But as far
evaluate
as
it?
trees, if they take on, you know, there's a replacement obligation, so, but obviously. The stormwater impact from removing the big tree and replacement for little trees. Isn't it? So-
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's, I mean, it's interesting, is should there be a carve out in that or something, you know, someone will add it, yeah.
Sure.
I would love to add that to our, when we're thinking about things that we're revisiting.
Yeah, I think that'd be good new business topic for the next meeting.
And then the other thing I picked up, which isn't really something that we could do, but it's maybe something we could pass off to schools, is the Sustainable New Jersey Grants Program, where they have grants, on the grants available for schools.
So we're trying to get them, they have to start the San Jersey program at the school,
Okay.
not just collect.
Yeah.
I know, I think I did,
Which is entirely different from the sustainable Jersey that the borough. which is-
Right,
it's a
right.
Whole different.
but they can get huge grants.
designation.
Like they could get a grant, because I was talking to them about. By saying that they're hidden fields where the school practices,
Right.
they could get a huge grant, plant trees all around the fields, like that's the kind of thing they could do. It's like it's not a small thing and there's lots of money.
Right, no, I think, so this might be something where we would want to partner with the school in order to kind of usher this road.
Through.
And maybe focus on, you know, property that might be owned by the borough, so that makes it relevant to us, that the school, you know,
Sure.
uses as well, like, so, you know, so Fairhaven Fields, but also McCarter.
Okay.
And sportsmen and, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The sportsman's is their property, yeah, but anyway, that needs some love too.
It does.
Can I see that? E and J, yeah. I feel like I'm going to, I'll be at the League of Municipalities show in a couple of weeks in November. Was it 2 weeks, November 19th? And a lot of these same organizations will be there. I'm there for the equipment end of it, but always hunt.
Wait, is this
Something,
down
yeah.
in Atlantic City?
Yes,
Oh, okay, because I'm going there for the green team, because we're getting our silver award, that's the same thing, right?
Lee Municipalities?
I think so.
Oh,
But
yeah,
it's the same.
same.
Was it different days or we all there
It
the
was
same day?
3 days long.
Oh,
You're going
yeah.
on Tuesday.
I'm going on Tuesday.
I'm going on Wednesday now. No. That was already planned. Um.
They were handing those out. at
But
the
I mean, you'll
school
see a lot of,
before.
if you walk the show floor, have you
Yeah.
done that? I mean, you'll see a lot of this.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. All
I've
right,
gotten all that paperwork at the New Jersey School Board Conference from Susanna Richards and David Kelly.
all right. Well, sounds very good. Sounds very interesting. And, yeah, I guess we should really, I don't know, like you said, it was, be worth going as a, or try to get more of us to go.
Yeah, I think like, you know, if 2 people went every year or something like that, if we had that kind of in our mind, like, I think that would be, yeah,
Budget, we can.
yeah. Whatever, I don't know,
Yeah.
just saying, because it was 2 of us, I'm for sure about it.
Get the whole gang.
Spring Lake had 3
Yeah.
people there. So, you know.
It's just, but we were still probably the best, right? From what you were picking up, right? Pretty much. All right. Yeah, good. All right. Thank you very much for the update. And thanks for attending.
Oh. Pleasure.
Tree removal permit data.
Take one and pass it. That's cool.
You didn't know.
Christy, can you email that?
Yeah, I can.
Thank you.
Might be able to share this.
So that one on 9:30, this is the one, this is the monster, that one below it. I'm selling to a lot of people in the neighborhood. Cause it's new construction.
Where is it?
It's.
Are you guys able to see this
9:30,
online?
September 30th. So how many, is there a running total,
Yeah.
which I hate? I don't know. Hazardous trees, I swear that's.
I did this in August, it was 263 removals in 25.
Christie, I
lot more
saw
room.
one penalty on there.
Yeah,
Do you know that status?
they had to pay for the fund because they removed a tree without a permit.
Where's that? Oh,
Penalty fee. That was back in July. That one, like July?
Oh,
July.
penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, Poplar,
What was the,
We
it
have
was
no-
$500.
tree?
Did they pay it?
Yeah.
Do we know what it was? Just this one tree, was it anything,
Was there a reason for it being removed?
I guess, since they did it all on the table, they didn't
Yeah.
give anything, so.
Some people say they didn't know they were supposed to file a permit.
Well, somehow, no.
Who was denied? I thought denials were.
This was a plan, the Sunoco station,
Oh,
or the Valero.
He wanted to take down
He
that.
wanted to take down that tree, but it was denied because they didn't meet prior planning board.
request.
No,
Okay.
The one that he
So
butchered
they couldn't
it.
do anything further.
It's coming back. I love it. Got all the branches on
Like
it,
that?
it's coming back. Where is that one? I can't find.
So that was in June, no, yeah. Right. You know, like this, like when there's so many large scale tree removal reports requested by Fury per the ordinance, if they're trying to remove more than 20% of the canopy, and some people don't wanna do it, and they just say, never mind, I'm gonna keep the tree. And they just revoke their permit.
Really?
Where they get,
Or they just like scale their, cause they don't wanna do it, it's an expense. And for the homeowner, and it slows down their process, so some say, then fine, I'm only gonna take down 1 or 2 trees then instead of the 4 or 5 I wanted to. I've had that
Nice
happen,
unintended consequence.
I would say at least 5 times that's happened.
That's good. What percentage of this is hazard versus like new construction?
A lot of
is
hazards.
that? Just.
Um,
Because there's a decent percentage more trees being removed this year versus last year.
like in August, when I looked at this, hazards were almost triple.
Okay. Okay.
And what, I think we talked about the last meeting, there's so far one homeowner that decided to pay to the fund instead of replace. So you have $3,000 in the fund. To plant with.
Oh, in the new fund?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, $3,000.
Leyland Cypress hedge. Assuming it was a really tall hedge.
Um,
No more.
Just. I'd love to see. Why they're hazardous. Why, is a hazard because they're cutting into the root system of whatever they're doing, is it, they're causing a hazard, or is it actually a hazardous tree?
Is it a hazardous tree because it's. I'm sure there's various reasons, you know, it's maybe half dead or the root system's a problem or whatever. Christy, can we maybe, the next meeting, can we get a couple of copies of Sherry's reports that she draws up?
yeah, I
For
can
like
get back to them.
So we can see like
Next thing
a
it's a
hazard
report, it's like,
notes or like a
yeah,
checklist.
sentences, what she writes about the tree, yeah.
It's
And
not,
then we could in particular, like the hazard stages, so we can get a feel for what she's deeming hazard.
Yeah.
Or that it's, you know. Just a, right?
so what did you say the total, so year to date, I'm just like, maybe. The public or anybody else wants to hear. The trees removed to date is over 250,
Yes,
and the trees planted to date don't have.
Oh, from. This year?
so far, we're mandating 93 be replaced. Because it's not a 1-for-1, it depends
Is that from the?
the size.
That's from the residential.
Oh, residential.
No, there's no inventory on.
So it's 250 out and we did how many in residential plan?
107.
107.
I granted, like, oh, number of those were in the spring where somebody bought
Oh,
a
that
bunch of
hedge.
green giants, yeah,
Sure,
so that's not really.
And we,
yeah, that probably. Cuts down on our number, right, I guess, because people were really buying up that, we could really use a hedge up some.
and that's why, yeah, that's why he decided he didn't wanna do it, he wanted to just.
He doesn't want to hedge it in.
It's not a landscape.
Yeah, it's landscaping. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when he said that, I'm like,
Yeah. And Chris, did you say 93 were replaced, did I hear?
That's what, I ran this in August, at the end of August, and as of that time. There were 93 replacement obligations,
Okay, so it's 200.
so Sherry gives them a year to replace it.
Yeah.
So and then they send me a picture, and if they don't, I remind them, and they have, and then they have 30 days, or it goes to code enforcement.
Do we have a requirement that goes along with this planting that they have to water and protect it? Is that part of the requirement?
You know, we talked about you being on their property, like if they're just planting a.
Well, just saying you have to you have to plant these trees, you're required to plant these trees, and when you plant them. Just say you are required to water it and protect it. I cannot tell you how many trees I just keep seeing that are buckrubbed so badly, and they're never gonna make it. Like,
Yeah, I think that's like an education, I feel like, cause I mean,
Yeah, but I think
it's
it's
just.
like, I don't know if we just give them a piece of fence, like we somehow have, like, even Kevin, Kevin planted right in my neighbor's yard.
Mhm.
Right as he's leaving, a big buck is walking up the street and he's like,
Eyeballing it.
yeah. And so I went over with some of those tubes that I had and we put them on her trees and put a bag on one of the other ones and. I'm sorry, and it just. I don't know, I just feel like it should be, like, there are developers who don't really care, right? If the tree lives or dies. They're just putting it in because they have to, but like if they protect it, at least I have a chance, and if they. Say that they are going to water it, then. And mulch properly, the one fellow who planted ones and put the volcano on it, and. Probably not gonna make sense of it. I don't know, I just feel like that should be part of the requirement. You plant the tree and then you take care of it by watering it and protecting it and mulching properly. There's just three things that go along with that. I don't know, is that unreasonable?
Like in the letter we send that I attached to the permit, you know, per borough ordinance, you're required to plant 1 2-inch caliber and New Jersey native deciduous placement tree on your property by October 1st. Rigid open mesh trunk guards should be provided to protect newly installed trees from buckrub. We say all this in
Should
the
be
letter,
provided by,
that we do nothing,
okay.
but we're trying to give them, Sherry wants that in the letter,
Mhm.
so we put it in.
If
So
they
like-
send a picture without it, can you say something?
Like what?
Like you're missing protection?
No one go, well,
I'm sorry?
like, we don't go check on it.
No, but don't they send you a picture of the tree?
Yes, if it's planted, yeah.
If you notice that there isn't protection for the tree, at that point, could you say something about that?
Yes,
Okay.
sure.
I don't know how quite to do this, but I just feel like it's important. I go to all this trouble, I mean, even a year or two later.
Right, yeah.
Well, the point is that we don't have replacement trees because we want to put trees in the ground. We have replacement trees because we want trees to grow, right? We want a growing tree that grows into a bigger tree, right?
Right.
Not that we put in the ground and then dies in it. Right? So it's a good point. Like we're doing the first part, but not necessarily.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, it's a guy, like, I mean, are you asking if we can make it like a finable offense? Or like
just a requirement, just
Like
like, that you
well-
need protection.
Yeah, so Christie, that letter that Sherry gives, she gives that when it's time to. Like, she approves the tree coming down and here's your. Letter
Yeah, she
requirements.
just marks the back of the application with her diagnosis, and then I just write the letter.
Right, and in the
That's just
letter,
like a boilerplate sentence.
it
I put all-
says. Buck rub. Protection, water,
I think it should be. Required, as Peter said, it says.
So-
Yeah. Not a
a
suggestion,
finable offense.
well. I mean, I guess, I don't.
I'm not arguing.
Yeah, okay.
It's fine, it says like, I'm just, because. Other than, like, how do you require it, like for approval? I guess, right, so. What in the picture that is sent, it should show now. The buck
Yeah.
rub protection
Mhm.
and. Maybe deer back, I don't know.
I don't know,
I
I
don't
mean,
know,
people
but
could just go out and water their tree, but.
Right,
I think
exactly.
the-
Sprinkler
the-
system, but
the
some kind of
buffer- I
protection.
mean, the trunk guard. That you could actually see.
Mhm.
I guess I'm wondering if, I mean, at minimum, maybe we could put in that letter. A link to the Gator bag, a tree bar that somebody could purchase on Amazon, but it would be great if like, you know, we could say very good hardware carries and stuff.
Absolutely.
Do
they carry anything like that? I have no idea.
I mean, they have fencing and
Fencing.
this, I mean, it's just,
Gator bag?
no, but just think in the perfect world, you cut a piece of 4 foot, 5 foot wire, you know, that big at grade, and you just use little zip ties and put it around. I mean, I've done it on a bunch of trees.
Mhm.
And they, like, I don't, they probably, I mean, if you have, you just have to have the fencing, and I mean, we can ask DPW, if you had somebody that would do it and show them, I don't know, it just.
Well, it's, yeah, so it's a requirement, but it's also an education type of thing.
Yeah.
So if it's a requirement, you know, I guess instead of, I don't know how Sharon worded it, it's recommended right now, Christie, in the letter?
Yes,
I wonder if we could just create like a
should be.
Should be.
like a page 2 flyer that would go, I'm assuming you email that and you don't mail it, right?
Sometimes they have an inspection fee, so we print it out and they have to come pick it up so that they pay. But if there's no additional payment required, we email it.
Yeah. I'm guessing you put some sort of flyer, whatever,
Sure.
educational pamphlet, like in with the letter, which could be emailed at the same time. Like, you know, if that letter's really short, so somebody might read page 2. I just got Invisalign, that's why I'm talking like this.
Well, it's just something that maybe we could figure out something.
Yeah.
Sherry, maybe it's worth asking Sherry. She thinks best way to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or every Arbor Day, we offered to come around and protect your tree. Little elves.
Okay. You can pick that around in the night, 3 ninjas.
Yeah, she ninjas.
Yeah, I think it's a fine idea, I think it's a good, something very good to, I guess, strongly recommend, but then it's like. If you require it, then it becomes
You need to enforce it.
you need to enforce it, it
Right.
has to show up in the picture, we go back, all right, you know, when the picture comes in, it doesn't have any of this on it, then we go back and say, all right, you're almost there. You're still not, you're not in the clear yet, you haven't, you know, put the buffer up, so it has to be like some kind of official.
Like some sort
Sense,
of
so.
like, if your tree has buck rub, it will die. It only has a X% chance of survival. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's something that needs to be, like, if we were gonna advertise some sort of ninjas coming around, it's like October. You know, right? Buckrope season's here, you need to protect your tree. What is that? Yeah, and maybe this is our Love Where You Live Day, table.
There you
We
go.
show people how to do it. Maybe
Yeah.
that's, and maybe we have free fencing that they can get with zip ties. Maybe
Yeah.
we have it cut and they could take it home, put it on the tree right then and there. How about that?
it's in the spring though.
It is in the spring, but they could put it the following winter. I don't know. It is kind of, they've been on all, I don't know.
Alright,
Do we have money, because don't we have to use our money by the end of the year? That maybe we could get some supply, like have some of that netting that we could keep to provide to people who are removing trees or planting trees, like something that we offer if we have money that we have to spend before the end of the year.
you have a vendor for that?
Yeah, you just go to Lowe's. We just got it for project and it's actually. Be able to do that much of fencing.
Okay.
Get wire clippers.
Lay, you wanna go to Lowe's?
Do I want to go to Lowe's? Sure, why not?
Um. I don't know.
We're keeping this.
Huh?
Well, how much
Yeah, I know,
money- how much-
we're-
How much money do we have left now?
I don't know,
Because Leah makes a good point. He always gets his,
Christie's the better rest.
he's checking
Yeah.
the budget.
Yeah, you have a few $1,000s.
We have after the tulips.
Yeah.
How we have how much? I know some of it we can carry to the next year, whereas some of it cannot. Can you?
Yeah.
what
The
cannot.
only thing we carry is our
Trust
trust
fund.
fund money.
So the operating budget that you have about 3,000 left, you cannot carry.
Okay. I mean, where would we store it? But I don't know. Maybe we should think about this or something. Because it would be useful.
I didn't. Why don't we?
Place, water, like, it wasn't like. We decided to go with 5 in the community center, and it was like. Where else? We're gonna plant some water. It's always the same issue, it's like.
We
Logistics,
give back
like,
$3,000.
where. Don't give it back, and it just, we'll have it in our budget next year.
No. It's a shame.
But I think buying and fencing and maybe some gator bags.
I have a lot of gator bags in my backyard. All these different projects, just give them out, but, so,
So we need a
Okay.
quote for gator bags, and we need a quote for fencing. And we need to submit for a purchase order, and we also need somewhere to store said items.
Can we offer them to people in town? Just like even if you are, like, if you've noticed, isn't this the time of year that they're doing it too?
yeah,
Like if you've noticed that your tree is getting back rubbing damage, that we as the Shade Tree Commission, kind of like marketing, like, hey, we're gonna provide this to townsfolk who come, first served. I don't know. I don't know if we're making more work for certain people, but it would be useful maybe, and also would be good marketing for our commission.
I think it's a good idea, I just, all right, here we are, what do we want to buy? This fencing and this gator bags, I mean, obviously, we're not gonna buy $3,000 worth of fencing and gator bags. So. When is, Christie, when's the last? Like PO of the year allowed to be issued and.
Probably by your next meeting, she'll close the book. So,
oh, we don't want me doing this. I post it.
let's see.
How much is the fencing house?
It's about,
It's not, it's can't much.
no, it's like, so we just ordered some from Lowe's, the Garden Club of Fairhaven just ordered it for the trees that are gonna be planted in the bird sanctuary, the Hardy Bird Sanctuary.
Okay.
And DPW, we ordered it, paid for it, the Garden Club money, which is not part of the borough, so we didn't need to PO and all that, but, DPW picked it up. And they're gonna cut it, put it around the trees, over the Hardy Bird Sanctuary for the Garden Club. I don't know if they would mind keeping it for us,
How much did you spend on it?
$1,000.
For how many trees you wish for?
That was 100.
Is it, what you did, was that like around individual trees, or was it?
We're
did you
going
create
to-
like a fence?
So we're having shrubs, so we're gonna have to have a big enclosure, and then we're gonna have trees, so it's gonna be smaller, and just around the trunks. So I tried to measure it out, actually brought the thing here. Yeah, so I mean, and if you spend over, I think it's $1,000, you can get a, sort of an account with Lowe's, and, I mean, the borough has an account with them, they buy stuff all the time, so I think we could easily get it from the borough's account.
Okay, is it in a roll?
You get 50 or 100.
100 feet?
Mhm.
Okay,
100 feet is very hard to carry and handle.
right,
So personally, I always, if I'm doing it myself, I do 50,
okay,
but DPW is involved, maybe you can get 100, it's cheaper. But,
no, yeah, you want it. You want it manageable, we can get
Yeah.
like 2 rolls of 50, how much cheaper could it be? We got
and then you just need a stake
a stick.
or 2.
Well, we're talking about like,
Yeah, but.
so I mean, basically, we're talking
Yeah.
about distributing this to the town, so, or to residents. So this 50 feet of wire needs to be cut into
Mhm.
3 foot diameters.
Mhm.
Give or take, right?
Yeah, we're
And
talking
then, and then,
for a tree, I mean, you have a 2-inch tree, right, you don't want it that big.
oh,
It
yeah,
should- Yeah,
I know, I'm picturing it, because, did we talk about that? I feel like we talked about this at a meeting that we're. Those trees at the community center, we
Mhm.
put fencing around, and
Yeah.
those tree, and the deer were still, like, just like, we could reach that still. So I'm assuming you want some kind
Well,
of
they-
perimeter around the.
yeah, the other thing is you just don't want the weed whackers, don't. Run to you guys doing the trunk. So. you
Right.
can put
Well,
mulch
I
there.
were talking about private guys, so like, or private properties. So,
Do you want me to
uh,
do a few calculations? I am.
Sure.
And then let Christie do the. Yeah,
well,
Perfect.
yeah, that's
Perfect.
fine, but we also, there are other things, like, if we're gonna distribute this material to residents. They're gonna need a place to come and pick it up.
Yeah.
We're gonna need
Right.
to be able to cut it to length. We're gonna need to know what that length is, or we'll just give them a standard, like.
They'll also
3 foot.
need instructions, like I wouldn't know what to do. I would text Bonnie, be like, what do I do?
all right,
Maybe that should give away on the.
yeah, that's what I was saying, give a piece, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Right, yeah.
And we
There's a lot of
can
questions.
buy it. And then we just have it on
Maybe we should make a
hand.
video of you doing your own tree. I'm serious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and like, with, you know, how to do it, and you could, like, then you could just say, okay, watch this.
Yeah.
YouTube.
I know it's not difficult, I know, I think, most people can figure it out.
Well,
I'm just thinking the
We-
logistics behind it, like, we can get this stuff, we can get 2 rolls of 50. Not a problem, alright, now what? We have this
We've
stuff,
gotta
we
make
have to
sure that-
distribute it, we have to cut it. If we just agree to like a 3 foot. Length, so it can fold, that'll give us what, 1.5 feet worth of diameter. You know, just-
we need to protect those tulip trees the day they go in,
we
At-
ordered
community center,
rub protection and gator bags for those
okay?
with through front row. So. You're right. But back to this.
How do I do this as an individual? Like, if I had one tree that I want to do this
Mhm.
for, what would I do?
Or you could just put chicken wire. It's anything that is going to prevent the bug from, you could just, I mean, put a piece of chicken wire around it. You know, just wrap it, it's just to prevent them from getting that, you know,
Yeah,
that nice smooth chunk.
but I'd have to come up with my own kind of game plan for it. There's not like a kit I could buy or something.
There are tree covers, and there are also those plastic things, you know, that have a slit, they're like a tube with a slit and you
Mhm.
put them on.
Yeah.
They're just not, they're okay to put on this time of year and then take them off, because they can get moldy during the summer.
Mhm.
So we could, those Lowe's has too, just tree guards, if we
Mhm.
want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
No, I do.
Yeah,
I
they're not
just don't
great.
like the
They're-
idea of it potentially ruining the tree as well.
Yeah,
if Something's not.
it's, I know.
So. Alright, so do you wanna, how about, do you wanna look into some pricing and we can discuss this more in the next meeting, because I mean.
Yeah, do you wanna
Again, there's
approve,
just not-
do we need to approve anything budget wise, or up spending up to a certain amount of money or anything like that? Or no, we can do that at the next week meeting.
I think we can do that at the next meeting, cause it's the first, what is it, what's our meeting next week,
Meeting
12, or
is-
next month being 5, 12, 6.
December 3rd.
No, so it's
We're
early.
gonna we missed the vote on this critical. Season anyway, like, really.
Right,
Right.
I mean, so this is. Maybe if we, you know, if we use this year's budget to. Buy some of the supplies, we could come up with the logistics of it. Without time.
right, no, I agree,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. For, you know,
but I'd like to know. I think it makes sense to know like how much we can get and how much it costs, and
Yeah.
then we could probably, on December 3rd, we could. Might be early enough to
Find out where.
still get a PO through.
yeah, kind of like.
Yeah.
Yeah, like decide how
and
many
Get some.
trees we're gonna wrap.
Sure, yeah, or yeah, exactly, like how many. Yeah, and come up with a length to distribute, you can't just.
Yeah,
cancel
where?
50
I mean,
foot roll, here you go,
Um,
you win.
Yeah. mean, we also at that point kind of know. I mean, we kind of know now, but like 90-something trees have to go back in. According to the permits, like, so we could kind of plan for. You know, a similar situation next year. Where we'll have to, you know, as somebody is like planting their tree, we tell them, come and get this from
Your
whatever
tree
location this might be when your tree goes in.
Mm.
You know, like, and that can almost make it sound more like it's required, perhaps.
Yeah. No,
And who's gonna cut it and where you're gonna store it. and-
Right,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
It also feels like less like, I don't know, like less of a chastising moment to be like, by the way, we provide these to protect your tree.
For everything, too much calendar, so.
like, I mean, my neighbor got a sweet bay magnolia, which is a kind of a shrub, so we put a big piece around hers. I had some fencing in my yard and helped her put that on.
Okay,
I mean, so there are different sizes for different things.
next time video yourself. And we'll
It was
get it
very
up,
dark.
get it up on our social media.
It was dark, we were doing
Yeah.
it at about 5:30. Too dark.
All right, sounds good, so, yeah, just. Let's get some numbers together for 2 50-foot rolls. I'm assuming they don't deliver, right, but I mean, we could,
No, I haven't cheated.
yeah, no, we can bring it, that's fine. All right, I'm just curious. You might deliver.
No, as I said, DPW visit.
Pricing, do we want fencing,
Steak.
gator bags, stakes? Zip ties, we want the whole, like, we can come up with a little
kit.
shade tree kit. Shade tree
Shade
deer
tree
prevention kit. The STDP. Alright,
Okay,
Make like a little like flyer to go with it, with the instructions or like a QR code to Bonnie in a video, putting it around a tree, like.
it might be better to go cheap, I'm just thinking something lightweight. The other thing they use is snow fencing, you know, with the wooden slats, with the twisted in between, they use that over at, Hartshorn, and it's really attractive looking.
That's like a
You know,
little better, yeah.
I don't know where you get big rolls of snow fencing, I don't.
I like the idea of a QR code going right to Bonnie. I think that's a great idea. Like you scan a QR code and it goes straight to Bonnie.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
yeah. Bonnie, how do you feel about wearing a GoPro camera on your head?
All right, well, let me get some pricing.
Okay, good.
Education series.
Yes, moving on.
Speaking of which, Miss, this might be part of our education series, I mean, so, do you want me to start talking about that? Are we on the next one?
Yeah.
So Kelly Flanagan, the chair of the Environmental Commission, and Jesse Murray, who's also on there, have been trying to put together some educational workshops. They want to do some things on like stormwater, on energy saving, we just found out, a watershed ambassador, a young man who worked at the park with Monmouth County Parks, who will come and do workshops, education, so we're working with them. I told them that, you know, post, I'd love to do something about trees too, and maybe this could be part of it, and we would have this, and, you know, Bill Thrash did such a good job when I went down and heard him at Borough Library, he's very personable and he had a great slideshow, and he could talk about this too, so, they've been talking to Rutgers, trying to get, because Rutgers offers a lot of things, and they're just having trouble getting. They're so busy right now, but anyway, so I'm working with them on this, so posted.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds good.
And that's another thing, do we need to prove, if we wanted to participate with them, with the environmental commission, do we need to approve a part in our budget? Like something to kick in money, do we need to do that?
Mm-hmm,
We do,
yes.
so maybe at the next meeting, we could approve like up to $300 or something to put toward educational, 500 or something, I don't know.
Yeah, educational series.
Yeah,
Or
Is
grant
that
for the
happening
shade tree.
this year?
it's probably not gonna happen before the end of the year, but do we need to approve for next year, that would be,
Soon she's gonna request budgets from commissions,
okay,
so that will probably be included in your net for
So
your
could we do that?
2026 budget request,
Okay,
so.
so if we encumber the funds, do we have to, we don't necessarily have to use them by the end of the year, though?
I think you do. Yeah, I'm not encumbered, but you have to know what you're doing with them.
No, oh, yeah. So
Oh,
when,
like, would I know by the next meeting?
yeah,
I don't,
like specifics. We're close.
I could talk to Bill Brush and see if I could book him for.
Well, yeah, I mean, you. Do we have to have a date, Christie, of this thing?
I don't know if it can carry over. I'll talk to finance tomorrow. There's very strict rules.
Okay.
What do you want me to ask? If you can do.
If we were going to say have a speaker for next March,
You wanna
money-
pay for it now.
yeah,
Is that what you're
that
saying?
something really makes sense.
I would hazard a no, but.
Does the speaker need a deposit?
Maybe, I don't know.
We'll find out.
So.
Good.
Working on it, yep.
All right, sounds good. We're gonna move on to the Fairhaven Road cherry trees situation. Leah, I know you sent an email about this and, it was kind of hit everywhere when this went down. Is there anybody familiar, or, for anyone who's not familiar with it, Fairhaven cherry trees, there's some work being done in that area. They were supposed to be, I guess, carefully pruned back, with regards to being able to see the signage and, you know, the intersection and everything like that. Well, they were chopped pretty well. I mean, they weren't, you know, crop topped or anything like that, but it was, you know, it just wasn't done in a careful manner in the way they were instructed by the town to do it. So, I do have a memo from Chris York that went out the day this happened. I could read it for everyone. So everybody's on board here. So this was on Wednesday. Oh,
How much longer is it going to be before you hear citizens?
we have 1, 2, 3 more line items to get through and then new agenda items.
Dick, are you leaving?
Don't do that.
What?
Oh,
Wait, Dick, your sweater's here, are you leaving?
Yes.
Well,
your
If you
sweater.
would just ask, if you would just ask me what I'm sitting there for, we could
oh,
discuss it for a second or two. I've served on lots of committees in the town, and usually there's an effort to listen to someone if they've got something short to say before you go through the agenda. I think I have something
I apologize, we're not-
to say.
Dick, I apologize,
Do you have a copy of the, okay.
yeah, he wanted to talk about deer. The health, the forest health survey,
Okay,
is it? Would it be okay? I don't know.
sure, go ahead.
Do you want to,
Do you wanna,
do you want to talk now, Dick?
Thank you. This is actually, work that Bonnie and I have been doing. And the concern was really, deer, and it's been a concern for many years now. And there's been virtually, I think it's fair to say, little progress toward solving the problem. There's been a lot of discussion, but it hasn't progressed to the point where you could really decide how you would solve the problem. And I was struck tonight by your discussion. I think it was deer and fencing. And I kind of wondered about the proportion of time spent on deer protection versus protection from deer. And I think there's a major difference. And I think that that sort of treatment only works on small scale. Doing a lot of, it doesn't work for things like the natural area. There has been a report just recently, and this actually started, I think, our recent discussion. Bonnie pointed out that she hadn't seen a copy, and I have been pushing Chris for a long time.
This was a forest health survey that the council, remember?
Yeah,
Yeah, so this finally came out.
yeah. Shari finally came forth with it, but I'd been bothering him for a long, long time. And I think just I think that's the only reason I got a copy. And then I gave it
The
to,
official report came out, but nobody on the shade tree, Christie was on it, right? You got it.
Yes, and Drew was gonna discuss it tonight,
Oh,
Councilman La Barbera, but then he
did
could
not
not make
know
it.
that.
and we're about there. And I had walked with Sherry through the natural area to discuss it, and I think you was, it's very difficult to see an immediately actionable item in her report. So it's yet more, again, 2 years of waiting. So my thought was that perhaps the Shade Tree Commission could get started profitably on at least trying to form some understanding between the on the peninsula. Drew,
Lava Bear.
you guys worked with, he told the Natural Area Committee that he couldn't support action against deer as long as Little Silver and Rumson said that they wouldn't cooperate. And the thought would be that you guys appreciate the fact that natural activities tend to go across boundaries. And your concern necessarily involves things that come across boundaries. In particular, your concern is deer. And one of the reasons you're concerned is that you have to put a lot of fencing around them as long as you have them. And as long as you can't do anything about it, you're going to be continuing to do that. And you're going to continue to get degradation.
Yeah.
So my thought was to see if you saw any advantage to be had by approaching the 2 other shade tree commissions and say, we have a natural interest here. And explain to them why it's in their interest to be involved. The deer go both ways. And in addition, Ridge Road has a sign that says, beware of deer who are striking the car. They're dangerous. And that comes across the boundary between Rumson and Little Silver and Fairhaven. So I just wanted to propose or suggest or
Encourage.
that you might consider talking to them and dealing with the problem as 3 connected communities who have a common interest.
Sure. Good problem.
It makes a lot of sense.
Makes a lot of sense. Very good idea.
I think Drew is right in saying it's hard to see yourself doing a lot of work as long as you know that the deer that we remove, their grandmothers and fathers will be coming back across the street. And that's not it's not rocket science. And I think in the Shade Tree Commission, them and you really do recognize and understand that that's a fact. And it's a fact best to deal with by the 3 Shade Tree Commissions.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can make a recommendation. I mean, the biggest problem here is nobody wants to address the solution, the how to have it. Yeah, which is why it's stuck.
One of the things I think is very important, and this is the last thing, but one of the very important is that we're actually concerned about the deer. because we would like to reduce the population to the point where they have plenty to eat, so they don't have to eat our trees and our understory. So this is not a deer destruction program. This is a deer habitat enhancement program as much as it is anything else. And that's one of the reasons why you really want to cooperate.
Sure. Sure.
Good suggestion.
I appreciate you coming.
Yeah, sorry, Dick, that's that we, asked.
I forgot my hearing aid
No.
tonight, which is me.
Don't forget your coat,
Yeah,
though,
no.
on your chair.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you, Dick.
Thank you. No, of course. Yeah. I know I thought he was just like, well, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Anyway, but I mean, it's a good idea,
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, I just don't, how much of this is gonna fall. We can make recommendations, as you said, and I think, and, a little collaboration maybe across town, and Drew's point is, I honestly, I never gave much thought. But, yeah, of course,
that they
obviously,
go back and
there's
forth,
gonna be
yeah.
an issue, like, if we can take it from here, but they're still all around us, so, that's good. Yeah.
yeah, so I don't know
Good point.
if,
We did send that memo months ago, but I mean, I know they don't, I guess the deer hunt thing is that kind of a dead issue, Christie?
They were waiting for CME to complete this.
No, it's done.
Health survey, yeah,
It-
that's
yeah.
what we just talked about. So that was and then they're gonna evaluate the findings and go from there.
who's the,
Council, I believe.
so, I mean, I read the report. Did you share the report? No.
Drew has it and he was going to share it with everyone here tonight. but
She basically, Sherry went in there with Dick Fuller and took different areas and analyzed them for deer browse and the health of the forest. And her report basically said a lot of deer browse, and it's, a lot of trees are rubbed, and she suggested cordoning off, fencing off some areas as a trial, but, just to see if it grows back. Well, I'm pretty sure that if you protect it, it's gonna grow back. Right,
yeah.
and I think
I-
that's
a lot of
why he
it's-
was saying wait 2 years, because she said wait for 2 years. I don't know if that's a solution. So this report was done, but it did not say.
Yeah, any kind of-
Or anything like that, so it's kind of,
Unfortunately, I think it's a lot of, because it's, because it's government, there's gotta be a lot of. We gotta go to this, we gotta go through this process, we gotta go through this process, and we gotta cover all our bases and get as much information as we can. To, who knows what the solution will be, but to get to a point where you're pleading your case for whatever that solution may be. I know, I mean, it doesn't matter.
do you have
right?
any
But-
idea what, if the other shade tree commissions like that, have you ever talked to the chairmans of Robinson and?
Yeah.
Bill Silver? Would you be willing to do that, just see what they're, just to satisfy Dick's request?
Sure. Let's see.
Well,
The
she's
one
on the
farm-
national study committee, huh?
Yeah, no,
I mean,
absolutely, I mean,
Just,
I wouldn't be opposed to it, no.
okay,
And it was a good idea,
Yeah.
I do think it was a legitimate idea, legitimate, good, I just feel bad that he was gonna storm out of the meeting.
Mhm.
But anyway, cherry trees on Fairhaven Road.
Thank you.
I was about to read this memo, I think.
Oh, yes,
Is that where we
yeah.
left off? Alright, so this. This was this was Wednesday, October 29th. Chris York sent out this memo. It's this morning at approximately 9 AM, Sunshine Tree Service, the subcontractor for Discover Construction, was stopped by engineer Rich Gardella for not following the selective pruning instructions that were part of the safety enhancements to the Fairhaven Ridge Road intersection. On Monday, October 27th, Rich had a separate pre-construction meeting with the subcontractor to outline the selective pruning work of the cherry tree canopy, which covers the southbound lane of Fairhaven Road approaching Ridge Road. Last month, Mayor Halpern, Rich Gardella, Nick Perchinsky, and I met with Monmouth County Engineering and Monmouth County Shade Tree to discuss safety enhancements to the intersection. Monmouth County Engineering explained that one of the contributing factors causing motorists to not see the blinking red light, red traffic signal and stopping was that the tree canopy was obstructing the view contrary to NJDOT standards. They informed us that we needed to prune the canopy to make the approach to the intersection safe. As part of the safety enhancements to the road project, we added that to the scope of work. When Rich met with the subcontractor on Monday, this was explained in detail, along with the goal to only selectively prune the trees in a surgical fashion to improve the line of sight, while at the same time protecting the canopy of the 35 cherry trees to be pruned. At 9 a.m. this morning, the employees working for the subcontractor did not follow this directive and began to completely cut back the canopy covering the southbound lane of Fairhaven Road just north of Buttonwood. Of the 35 trees, only approximately 6 trees were affected, which I have attached pictures of. I think Chrissy can put those up. Rich immediately shut down the job and removed the subcontractor from continuing any work. It does not appear that the trees were irreparably harmed. The canopy should grow back. However, I have reached out to Sherry Spiro to respond to the scene to inspect this. As per Mayor Halpern, a brief statement to the residents explaining this issue will be posted on our Facebook page. Below is the statement. Pretty much reiterates what Chrissy just said. At approximately 9 a.m., the Borough of Fairhaven shut down the subcontractor who was working on the Fairhaven Road Improvement Project for not following the approved plan to selectively prune the cherry tree canopy covering the southbound lane. I don't know what you want. It's basically exactly what Chris just said in that memo. So it looks like, instead of just kind of carving out a line of sight, kind of looks like they just kind of went up the side of
And they're also
trees. The first, he said
And-
6 trees.
huge curve right there. I didn't realize there were any, that's a huge new curve, so they just cut through all the roots too, right?
They also had a lot of heavy equipment on it the other day, which I mentioned in my email, but I don't know.
They had it on the trees?
It was like parked in between the trees, just sitting there. No one was there working. It was just where they were keeping the equipment.
Okay.
And it just felt completely unnecessary to keep it there.
As a follow-up, I did ask Drew if there was any update. The contractor did in fact fire the subcontractor, but so far that's where they're at right now. But
So they didn't complete the work on the other trees.
I don't know. I don't know how far back they went. I think they only did the 6 trees from the corner. I
Because
drove by there today, but it was still, this morning it was all blocked off. It was like construction or work had resumed. So I couldn't go down there this morning. Tonight when I got home from work, it was really too dark to see anything.
I feel like because these trees are so important, like someone from the town, I know it's saying, I'm asking a lot because I don't work in the town. I don't know what the workflow is like, but because these trees are important and so many of these people just don't care. They just don't have the same care we do. And having someone from the town to kind of keep an eye on it and make sure that everything, because they're, it's not the first time something like this has happened, with subcontractors. I know that the people that were reaching out to me were upset and worried and asked why no one was there. And when it's something like these trees, which the town really loves and is really part of our town, and like the buttonwood trees, I feel like it makes sense to have somebody there to kind of at least make sure it's getting started right.
Yeah. Never.
So
I went past and they really butchered the 6 trees.
Yeah.
If they're not at the corner, they're at the beginning of the
Yeah.
street and they're down.
Yes, there's something about.
So it's even.
They took so much off of it, I think they have endangered the trees, I mean,
Yeah,
it's bad.
Yeah.
And they didn't even do a good trimming job, that,
no, it doesn't appear they were,
no,
they were chopping, not thinning.
right, there were stumps, there was that, it's not how you trim a tree.
Sure. Um,
But it does look like it was one of those six, like. Right, like
Yeah.
more towards Buttonwood, and then it doesn't look like they touched anything
Would
else.
this be kind of a use of funds at the end of the year? We could I mean, we talked about like putting a new cherry tree in between, like in anticipation of them aging out and dying, and now they're damaged severely.
yeah, well, possibly, I mean, my thought was, I feel the impression I got from Drew, and I think there'll be more discussion about this, and I haven't seen any official word yet from Sherry on
No.
what she thought, so I was gonna follow up with her, but I really do think, I mean, at the very least, what we can do is I send a memo to council, so it would be a matter of record that, you know, I think obviously this contractor needs to be held accountable and well, yeah, I mean, obviously, but should these trees not make a comeback? And as you pointed out, I didn't notice that the curb line situation, I mean, they could have gone through this whole row of trees for all we know. I think they need to be held accountable, and I think they should be responsible for replacing any of these trees that die. Right.
Yeah.
Whether or not we'll, I mean, but I mean, at the very least, I would write a memo with, you know, if everybody else thinks that it's a good idea, and anything else they can go in the memo, we'll put in the memo, but I really, I think the contractor should be the one to replace these cherry trees to our satisfaction, and I think, you know, again, we'll wait to hear from Sherry, but I mean, my approach would be like, I think you really have to look at it like those trees, given their age to begin with, and the
Yeah.
shock treatment that they just went through, I think it's a problem, I think it's a really big shame. So.
Yeah, I'm just thinking we have $3,000 if we wanted to use it to buy some cherry trees this fall and have firm before them plant them, and I don't know. Would be in favor of that.
Yeah. Again, we have to find out the timing issue with the money and the POs, if we can.
I don't know that we
We
could put this,
pre-buy
but
for the
like,
spring or.
cherry trees there now, they won't get enough sun with the
Yeah.
other ones.
Yeah, if you guys recall, remember when we were over there and I mean, this is years
Yeah.
ago now, but they were talking, like, part of Fairhaven Fields, I'm sorry, the woods there have to be cut back, and it had a lot of invasives, but that would have impeded the light for the Kwanzaa cherries and anything we would plant. So I think that there was a plan to cut that back. I don't think it's happened though, but I don't think planting would make sense until that had happened, because you're right, Jill, it's not gonna get enough light.
That's true. But what about going around the corner down Ridge?
We had talked about that though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's so much sun.
Yeah,
It's the edge of the
yeah,
natural area, and the natural areas, I mean, he's actually looking to add screen there. So when people are walking in the natural area, you know, the
Yeah.
sound of cars going by is muffled, I mean, that would kind of be a nice, stretch all the way down there. It's
Yeah.
under the wires, but they don't grow that big.
Mhm.
It's kind of a tree kind of.
Sure,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, but if we can. All right.
We
well,
might
then
be working
we-
probably
if
the
we-
natural area too.
Yeah, well, the natural area, I think well, I don't wanna get off too off topic,
Yeah.
and but I mean, that's something, a project, a good project probably in the future. To work with the natural area, because they're the ones that are gonna have to be somewhat responsible for trimming that area back to get the cherry trees a little more light. outside. But if we can, then, Christie, could you find out if we're able to? Again, we wouldn't be planting these things until the spring. I don't, I love the idea, but I don't know that we can,
Pembroke would come back for if we. were
for like
to
a
plant.
winter, or,
Center,
I don't know.
they would, when they planted in the natural area in Center last year.
So we could get trees in before the end of the year.
If you get the council.
we have to get a council approval.
Oh,
Yeah, forgot about
that.
that. Yeah, that whole thing. Yeah, it only took like 4 months to get the trees in the community center. Yeah,
I just, on the cherry trees, so the curb is going in, which is concerning for the roots. Is there also a sidewalk going in there?
Not on the natural area side, they
Not
put wood
across.
chip. Yeah, yeah, just, yeah, on the other
Not
side.
just the other, okay, good. All
But I
right.
don't even think it's the last block to the street, to Bridge Road. It
Was there a curb before? Did they
Was there?
take?
No, there was not.
No.
But since there's been so much development, with the water coming down Buttonwood, it's just all of a sudden eroding all the roots around those cherry trees, it's been
Oh.
getting worse and worse. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Hmm.
What's the right thing to do, curb in our, with the erosion going.
well. Yeah, I don't know.
I do wonder if the curb might
Please,
protect
yeah.
a little bit of the salt coming off the road too, for the roots.
Well,
Yeah, look at that.
they were better before they were cut, that was for sure,
Well, it's fair.
I think. I don't know.
This is incredible.
Do we know if Sherry went out there yet?
She was supposed to go and evaluate the trees. I have not heard anything,
I have not heard
Yeah.
either.
so
Can we follow up with her?
I'll follow up with her tomorrow, send her an email.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's cool. I didn't.
250. Cherry trees down Ridge Road.
Alright, well then, that's definitely gonna be a next year thing, early, you know.
250 cherry trees. Oh, kidding.
Yeah. Great. Fernbrook, give us a good quantity discount, maybe get us down, you know, I don't know, $100 a tree. But, yeah, no, that's, I would like to send. Little words, yeah.
Oh, done by two councils.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the priority planting location list. We discussed it last meeting and probably the meeting before, like anybody, well, I guess we kind of already started coming up with some priority planting lists. Ridge Road, cherry trees. And now I guess really this should probably. Depending on what happens with these trees, this area really should be the. Priority planting, I think,
The cherries.
cherries and additional cherries in surrounding areas. Anyone else have?
I always think Fairhaven Fields is
I think very much too.
Sure.
area.
Even Bill Brash walking around there, his first impression was like, wow, you need trees. Big time.
Like around the walking path.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
on the outside of the fields, all along
Yeah.
there.
There were huge trees out there, I remember not too long ago when I moved in, that was like 12 years ago, not even,
Around that.
like the path. Coming kind of on the other side of Meadowflower. Like that path in front of there by like McCarter, I think it's McCarter that it
Mhm,
leads
mhm.
into there. Like if you walk, you can still see the.
Yeah,
the stumps.
That,
stuff,
they
but-
took out a bunch, I think maybe Sandy was
I
some of
would
it.
have to be after that, cause we moved in
Okay.
after that, and I remember because. Those trees also had bat houses
Yeah.
on the tops of them. Well,
Really, no, I love that.
yeah,
That's the
so
perfect thing.
that's what I always wondered, like. You know, this was before I was on the change, I had no idea what happened to those trees. They were
Yeah.
just, unless they were, I don't know, if they were dead, dying, they were considered hazards, I mean, they were big,
Yeah,
mean, those stumps are huge, but they had, every one of them had a bat house on it, yeah. So that would be, yeah, that would be a good.
I think
idea
that's
to start.
great, so replace the, yeah. Because if on the new ordinance now, they took one down, they have to put one back, right, so. Should
Yeah.
put them back.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that's good, I still think the corner of, the community center baseball field, Cedar and Third. I think all up and down Third is a great location because the kids, you know, where they ride up and down that, such a nice.
Mhm.
Have a shade.
Yeah. Well, we're,
That
Is it-
corner where the baseball
With the
field is right
backstop
on,
there?
yeah.
yeah, so I mean, I've had. Over the past few months, I've been able to have a lot of conversation with DJ about, you know, planning here, there, and whatever. I think it's a good idea, I think we've talked about it, I think that behind each backstop for each field, I think would be great, and even the fields. In Fairhaven fields for the baseball fields, I think there's gonna be a lot of. Like resistance, just because of. You know, debris falling down on. Home plate, this, that, and the other thing. I'm not saying it can't be done, I just think if we wanna focus our efforts on something that would probably get done a lot quicker. I think Fairhaven Fields and the cherry tree like, projects should probably take up on it. We should use our energy there.
I mean, I think they're both good projects,
I just feel like, cause I don't know how many trees you can get, like the corner of Third and
Cedar.
Cedar.
I would say you put like 5, if you put smaller trees.
I
Just
think
something.
you've got 5 trees in that
Trees
town.
there.
Yeah,
Really?
What's
yeah,
that?
really, there's a pretty big, space between the. Yeah, I really did think you wanted to have actual shade.
Do you think we
I-
should invite, uh, is it DJ Breckenridge? Who would help, no, like with that decision? And, or someone from baseball, like that knows, you know, what their needs are, because it's hard, because we don't know exactly what their needs are, except that they need shade, that we know. But like, if maybe we invited them to a meeting to like have a conversation together about what would make sense, so that they understand what our goals are and we understand what their needs are. Because we keep bringing it up, but we keep kind of getting stuck because we don't know.
Well, get them on board, yeah.
You try, I don't think it's gonna go our way.
No.
Is this Mike,
Yeah.
is he Mike, Banana?
Yeah.
Can I talk to
Super
Mark?
guy, nice guy,
Yeah,
but he's the president of baseball, and I know. For now, I mean, it's always he could be gone next year, who knows, like who'll be up next, but. When you start talking about planting trees around fields, there's a lot of like, where, you know. You're taking up space for our warm-up pitchers, you're taking up space for. I mean,
I'm assuming they're not warming up on the corner of Cedar and Third. Right?
no, just use that as an example. Now, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, we could do it. And I know him and he, you know, probably be happy to. Come,
I always wondered if families, like baseball players, if they would sponsor a couple trees or something, you know?
maybe.
Yeah.
I think honestly, I know this because I've come through it all.
Yeah, and
And,
that happens, so.
and I know. I feel like. Trees are in the way, as far as baseball fields are concerned.
It's just so brutal sitting on.
Oh, it's terrible, we
Yeah.
all agree that, like, cause,
So there's.
but I think there is a balance there,
Yeah.
and I think like, you know, what we did along that path, I think it's, you know, when I was looking at it today and I looked at the trees, like, you know, the sun comes in from over here. So you're gonna get, you know, shade cast all along that, you know, third baseline, the
Right.
bleachers there. I think it's gonna be really, really nice.
So there's stakes in the ground now showing where they're gonna go.
Yep. I have pictures and, Christy, do you have your By any chance? I think Mike also texted us some pictures. But I mean, if they're staked out just right along that,
I'll email Christy right now.
okay, that's fine.
And these tulips are, I can't remember, are they a variety that's like shorter or something, is there something special about them, do you remember?
I know I can't remember, they did not drop any
Is that
kind of fruit or debris, that was kind of crucial. They grew rather fast,
Tulips do.
but they weren't, I guess, like an overbearing, messy tree that something would be, like, you did eventually start getting in line. And I don't believe, I think Sherry said the root system too is not particularly, like, doesn't spread too.
Maybe they're
spread
deep there.
Deep, yeah.
Exciting.
And they were hardy, right? They were like a very hardy tree. So
Yeah.
that's anyway,
Really big, yeah.
really big trees, big tree project. But I forget my words here, but
Okay. So,
but I'm game for all of it, but I think, you know, we wanna pick and choose our battles. But if we wanna,
I guess like I think that the one on Cedar and Third is small, like that we're either gonna get a yes or we're gonna get a no. Like, I don't know that we shouldn't do that because of the other two things.
mhm,
I mean, I think we could handle 3 planting projects in a year.
yeah,
Okay.
as long as we have,
Yeah, I mean, but I think,
Mid-
yeah, right,
water
it would be like, yeah, but, you know, like if that's. If the baseball organization and rec is not gonna get on board, it's not gonna happen. I mean,
Right.
you're gonna push there, I don't know, but
Right.
you know, like.
I already, that's what I'm saying, I guess yeah. I already got the impression that it was like behind the backstops was like,
Yeah,
they
Stay
didn't like it. They didn't like the idea.
yeah.
Cause I did bring it up when we were like originally talking about the. But. We can always try again.
Here's the pit, no photo.
Maybe if we had like some pictures of other. Fields that have trees behind the backstop.
yeah,
Yeah, like,
that's a good idea. Just as long as they're not in a perfectly straight line, right?
No,
Okay.
no, so basically we see it by the bleacher there, it's kind of,
Get
the
closer.
path kind of goes like this, so we just kind of. Followed it along there,
You just want to
like
look
maybe the
little
last,
natural, little.
like a little
not
zigzag.
No, yeah, not
So-
perfect.
There are regulations, you see that outer fence line there? Right?
Christy, would
from
you mind
that.
sharing the screen?
So. Anything like, any kind of obstruction, tree, benches, bleachers, whatever, has to be 10 feet
From the,
from that fence line.
from the trunk.
So that, no, well, yeah, so from that fence line, the trees have to be 10 feet. That way, this way,
And there are no.
but
sprinklers.
there's also the path. So we obviously we wouldn't wanna plant them right on top of the path, so we were trying to find a kind of a happy medium, maximize that. Get the 10 feet
Mhm.
from that fence
Mhm.
but also give them a good, good space from the,
And there are no sprinklers on this field, right?
there's no sprinklers, power lines, anything,
great.
It is gonna be great.
so.
Got our 2 locusts on the other side.
There will still be room for something maybe in the future. Further or closer to Third Street, there's still. Some room there,
Yeah, there's a good gap in the sweet thumbs.
there's a little gap there, but. I don't know, Sherry mentioned it, it could be nice for something like a ornamental situation there, but. I don't know if there's a plan with DJ brought it up, there's a lot of runoff right now from the street onto that path.
Mhm.
It's kind of a very, like. Locked up area there, so I don't know.
Even though they,
Why right now?
but they.
Or right now, it's been,
Oh.
it's like, it's basically. Third Street. And then that little parking lot there, and water just kind of runs right. Off the street, through the lot and into that path right there, very interesting, it's always very. like ruddy and sloppy. He was thinking that they were gonna eventually do something, put up like maybe a curb line there at some point. Walk it off. So I think we're still, there's another fence line by there where those other trees are,
Mhm.
so we're still another 20 feet back from there, so there's still a long.
So do we need to approve a budget, like how much money we want to spend next year? I know we joked about, like I keep saying, 250. I feel like we should all be doing something for this big birthday coming up next year. Planting 250 trees is not out of the realm of possibilities if you decide that it can be little trees. And we don't have to have immediate gratification. And I've just been to a couple seminars lately. That's really making me believe that you're better off putting in these younger trees. Because their root, instead of cutting them out of the ground and cutting up all their roots and balling them up and bringing them over. These young trees can be more gently removed, the bare root trees, and put in, and they more quickly establish and they catch up with the bigger trees in a couple of years. And they're healthier, because they have to overcome this. And I don't know, I mean, you can get them from Arbor Day, I mean, $8 to $12 from that. I know it's a hard thing for people to say, what is that? I mean, you still have to protect them with some things, the deer will come and eat them, but I don't know, I just think we could do a bigger project. If we were willing to not have instant gratification and maybe think about, it's just a thought, man.
I'm fine with that. I'm not even, I mean, obviously what everybody else thinks too, but I wasn't. I don't know, at least for me, it wasn't instant gratification. It was more about like something that was gonna survive. Right, and
Well, you have to protect them, obviously, yeah,
so,
but you have to protect the big ones too,
true, but I mean, I just always felt like you probably had a little better
yeah.
odds with something.
Well,
But
I think
I'm
there's
not-
any way that we're gonna get the town on board to care for 250 trees.
Well, see, this is what,
I mean,
you don't need to care about as much,
Well,
yeah,
there is that, yeah.
right.
The
The bachelor.
250.
Put in a bunch of little ones, yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, could we, is that something we wanna talk about? Contributing to, or,
Yeah.
because. You have to think 250. 250 location. No, I didn't know if you were you were like looking, I thought you were gonna interject. Like, do we have to approve 250 locations? Yeah, you're talking about flying under the radar, I feel like you're.
Oh, no,
Oh, no.
not me.
Not you.
Oh,
But. Yeah, so I mean, there's that.
well, another
There's
big
the
aspect
care
of it
aspect of
is
it,
like
there's.
on the, I know this from my other job, is that volunteerism is a huge. Shouldn't have, it's like 250 at a push.
yeah,
So that could be something that we could kind of incorporate, maybe if we're not doing 250 trees, but maybe it's 25 trees, and each of those trees, God, I can't talk, has like 10 hours of volunteer power behind it or something like that. So in the combination, we wind up with 250 things or whatever, or something.
I mean, we also could think about giving out these small, like order from Arbor Day and do another tree giveaway at Love Where You Live Day. And then it's up to the person to put it in their yard. And
Yeah, or we did something like that, and we asked, I don't know, that we get 250 residents to sign up to take a tree, but,
Yeah.
I don't know.
and
I think it has to be a combination of things. I don't think to put 250 little baby trees in the ground,
Mm.
in my opinion.
I like this size, but
It's a very nice organizing,
Well, it would be
like, thought,
separate.
right, like.
That was
we're gonna put
250
250
on Thompson,
That's
there
pretty
be a
cool.
bit of thing,
No, it is.
like it's a peninsula, 250 trees.
But to answer your question, if we were to tackle something like that, yes, we would probably have to put a separate line item in there and in our, when we get, I'll probably get the budget spreadsheet in next month or something, or the request.
From Nancy, probably
Yeah.
after the council meeting. Maybe.
And, you know, we could put in there. Well, our estimate on the cost of 250.
But even if we did 25 and like, so then somebody is, cause we probably have enough money to do 25 trees, well, maybe not, but. You know, then that could help solve the watering problem, because people could sign up to say, I'm responsible for watering. X tree for 10 hours or something like that.
Mhm.
And there's like, you know, so then there's the service component to it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I go out there with a bat and heck from the deer.
yeah.
Yeah, take shifts, every shift's worth 10 service hours. BB gun, pellet guns.
Add it as a new agenda item next month, 250th anniversary project.
Yeah,
Called
Ideas.
Bonnie's 250 tree project.
don't you think it's good? Don't you want to plant trees?
Yes, we do, Bonnie. But it'd be great, it'd be great. But, you know, yeah, if you want to have further discussion on it, there's a lot. You gotta figure out where are they gonna be planted. We need, if they're.
Yeah.
It's gonna be public land. Project's gonna need approval.
What are we doing if we do it at, you know, with an Arbor Day or something giveaway?
We just try to reach a goal of 250 trees for our 250th.
And you
Right.
know, I wonder, Burnbuck, do they have? They're bare, they have small trees?
They have smaller trees. I don't know if they're bear root, but. No, they do. They have those ones in the bag.
Yeah, they're not bare root, but they have, yeah, the little
No,
carry bags.
Yeah, the smaller ones. Yeah,
I mean,
they did mention some. She did
you
mention
could,
something
you
about that.
know, people wanted to do it less expensive or something, just trying to, maybe it's the, I don't know, price is a barrier
Well, why don't you,
to station or.
do you wanna reach out in between now and then
Okay.
and see if,
I don't think,
If-
this needs to be separate.
Yeah,
You can't have like him running
Yeah.
around with a bunch of, no, but like, we're not messing with this. But it could be something different. I mean, I think Tommy did say something about bear roots, or maybe that was the,
no.
Schmidt woman.
Hmm.
She might have said, she shipped everything bear root.
Yeah.
Maybe we
I,
get it from them.
weird cold person.
Yeah.
I'm meeting Kevin over at the natural area to plan some things, so I can talk to him about it.
spitball with him, see what he thinks. So, yeah. Alright, so we have. Baseball fields, Fairhaven Fields, Cherry Tree area. For our priority,
Third Street.
like in Third Street, and 250 various locations along with that.
It's the BP station between the Acme and the BP, is that, what's happening there? You know that strip where you cut everything down next to the.
This is
street?
priority planning strip.
Yeah, well, I just don't know who's, yeah, I think it would be nice to have something.
I think there's a
I
little.
think BP
It's a,
Where?
okay. Why not? It's a lawsuit.
Oh,
I think he's doing that, okay.
then we should probably stay away. Alright, well, I'm gonna move along
Okay.
to council update, and Councilman LaBarbera was not here. He did wanna go over the deer report. So hopefully next meeting, and again, his other. Update was that the subcontractor on this job was fired by the contract. Proposed new agenda items. We have stormwater discussion. What else?
250th anniversary project.
Right. Well, that's all our priority planting, yep, okay.
Well, stormwater,
Stormwater discussion for the ordinance.
yeah, okay,
Yeah, we're
so
gonna
it's
do-
pre-ordinance, addition or
Amendment,
amendment, yeah.
Yep. What else? Anything else? Anyone?
I think we should probably look at. And right, that's our last chance to do any spending, right? So. We should probably. Come with thoughts on that.
Yeah, fencing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also just as I know you, we updated our calendar for next year. We're gonna take August off.
Okay.
Anything else? No. No.
Can I tell you something just interesting? Well, oh, this is how we. Before we adjourn.
Well, we're gonna go through public comment,
Oh, okay.
real quick. Public comment. Susan? Public?
I already commented.
You got it? All right. Good job. Anyone else out
There is
there?
no one online. No, I
Okay,
think.
all right. So before we adjourn, Bonnie,
I just want, Kelly Flanagan was telling me, you know, she has one of the big elm trees in her yard. And it is so old, it's over 200 years old, and so it's, must be immune from Dutch elm disease, and I was telling a fellow at Rutgers. At the conference about this, and then she has all these baby trees growing all over the place. Anyway, they connected, and he's so excited to come to her house and possibly take a bunch of her little seedlings
oh, wow.
to grow back at Rutgers, thinking that they might be immune,
Mhm.
and they might be a good thing to breed and whatever. So that's one exciting thing.
Interesting. That is kind of
And,
cool. We might. The cures right
Save the
here.
we could take her babies and plant those elm trees all over. Yeah.
That's cool.
And also, she said she was telling a friend about her big tree hunt, and they said, oh, I have a big tree in my yard. They called the big tree hunters in, and they have a water oak, which is highly unusual. There is more southern tree. It is the biggest water oak in New Jersey. That's on River.
Right, River Fair.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Isn't that exciting? It's huge. So if you're going down toward Red Bank,
Got it.
it's on the right side, just before the light enhance, 517. It's a cute house setback, with a fence and this great big tree with swing hanging from its branch. And. Just some leaves. I went by to take a picture.
Oh.
This is a water oak leaf.
Yeah.
That is a water oak leaf, like, you'd never know it's an oak. I mean, I think I must have walked by it and never ever thought it was an oak, but isn't that kind of cool?
That's cool.
That we have.
Biggest
Yes,
one. in
water
New Jersey.
oak.
Huh.
So we might have to find get those acorns in person, those too.
The Fairhaven Water Oak.
The Fairhaven water oak.
Amen. I like it. Very interesting. I like that. Nice little factoid.
Mhm.
All right. Well, that brings us to adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Meeting adjourned. All right, everyone.
Night.
Have a pleasant evening.
Thanks, Susan,
Thank you.
always being here.
Thanks, everyone.
I'd rather